Good morning, students. Today we are going to start unit number 2 in managerial economics. In last lecture, we have completed the revision of unit 1 that I have uploaded on Saturday. So if you have not referred yet, please check playlist, okay? So we are going to start our unit number 2, production analysis. In that, you have to study meaning of production, production function, law of variable proportion, isoquant and isocost curve, optimum input and output combination, economies and diseconomies of scale. So this is the part 1 lecture of unit number 2. In that we have to study meaning of production, definition of production, concept, factors of production, production function, characteristics of production function and types of production function. These all are we are going to study today. So we starts with meaning of production. So what is production? In ordinary sense, production means creating something. So production is the process that transforms input into output. Production is the process by which the resources, that is input, are transformed into a different and more useful commodity, that is output. For example, in sugar production, process of converting sugarcane into sugar, so sugar can become more useful commodity. Various inputs are combined in different quantities to produce different levels of output. Next, here are some definitions of production. So according to Betts and Parkinson, production is the organized activity. Production is the organized activity of transforming resources into finished products in the form of goods and services. So production is the organized activity of transforming resources, that is inputs, that is raw materials and other inputs, into finished products in the form of both goods and services. So the objective of production is to satisfy the demand for such transformed resources. So why we are making production? Ultimately to satisfy demand. The next definition is according to J.R. Hicks is production is an any activity that directed to the satisfaction of other people's wants through exchange. So what is the meaning of through exchange here? So through exchange, that is in return for money. So production is any activity that transforms resources into the finished products and makes goods and services that ultimately satisfies the other people's want in exchange or in return for money. So that any activity that are for the purpose of making money, it is called an economic activity. So production is an economic activity. So from our above definition, it is clear that many valuable activities such as work done by people in their own houses or gardens, like cooking and exercising, and all voluntary work such as free coaching you are giving to your little brothers or sisters, or collection or subscription for a social cause such as flood relief or earthquake relief fund that are not included in production because it is not considered as an economic activity. So all voluntary work and all the work that you do it for yourself, so it is not, so that all activities are not included in production. Why it is not included in production? Because in economics production is an economic activity. So here are the other definitions of production. So production is a process that creates utility in the goods. So what is the utility? Utility means usefulness. Utility means usefulness in the products and services that satisfies the people's demands and wants. For example, why we are producing pen, writing pen, ultimately to satisfy the demand for writing. So it creates utility. Then the production means an increase in the value of commodity. How value is increased? So we have seen in earlier definitions that production is a process that transforms inputs into outputs. So production activity converts all the raw materials into a more useful and valuable finished product. So it creates and it increases the value of commodity. For example, if you make ice cream, you will say that you have produced an ice cream. But from the point of view of economics, you have not produced any new thing in the form of ice cream. Rather, you have changed the form of milk, sugar, cream, etc. Thus, have created the value, created the utility of milk, sugar, and cream. We have to changed we have changed the form of milk, sugar, and cream and converted into a ice cream. So it created the utility. So there are various type of utilities like form utility. We have seen in this example of ice cream that we have changed the form of milk, sugar, and cream, and we have produced ice cream. So it is known as form utility. For example, manufacturing of furniture from the wood. It is converted from wood. So we have changed the form of wood into furniture. Then production of sugar from sugarcane. Then place utility. How place utility is created? Through transportation. We can transport goods and services from any other areas. We have we are ordering goods and services from other places. So it creates place utility. For example, we are sometimes ordering the food or any other goods that are famous from the other places. So it creates place utility. Then time utility. For example, preservation of food grains. For example, the actual production of food grains is limited to certain periods in the year, whereas its demands remains throughout the year. Food grains, food grains therefore have to be stored and preserved over time to make them available in all seasons. Then service utilities. For example, doctors, lawyers, teachers, musicians do not create anything tangible or material things. Yet their services do give satisfaction to the customers and possesses exchange value. So all the utilities that is created by the production that has value. So basically, the what is the production concept is, since the primary purpose of economic activity is to produce utility for individuals. Utility means more usefulness for uh, more usefulness to satisfy the demand for individuals. Thus, in economics, the word production is used to imply creation or increasing the utility of good so that its value is increased. Utility જેમ increase થાય એમ પ્રોડક્ટની value increase થાય. જેમ 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 પ્રોડક્ટની યુઝફુલનેસ ઇન્ક્રીઝ થાય તેમ પ્રોડક્ટની વેલ્યુ ઇન્ક્રીઝ થાય. The next is factors of production. You are all are very well about very well known about factors of production, that is land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. So what is included in land? All the natural resources, land ultimately, then oil wells, forest, etc. For example, De Beers Groups, that is diamond manufacturing company, owns diamond mines. So it comes in land because it uses the natural resources. Then oil manufacturers, petrochemical product manufacturers owns their own oil drilling fields and oil and gas drilling fields. So it comes all in the land. Then labor. Workers and employees are putting mental and physical inputs into a production process. So it comes in labor. Then the capital. Capital is basically used to produce a product like machinery, equipment, that all are needed to produce products. Then entrepreneur. What is on who is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur arranges all the resources and manages all the factors of production. So entrepreneurship is an activity of combining other factors of production and who takes the risk and creates value. It's called an entrepreneur, that are managers and investors. Next is the classification of production function. Classification of factors of production. So land, labor and capital that are used into a productive enterprises which organize all the land, labor and capital to produce goods and services. That is basically an output, and it goes to the market to satisfy the demand. Next is the factors of production, that is land, natural resource, land, all the natural resources used in production. Then labor, human skill and efforts that are used in production. Then capital, that is equipment and materials that are used in production. Then enterprise, that is organization structure, workers, organization structure, managers, entrepreneurs and undertaking production. They all together and produce goods and services. So what the next topic is production function. We have understand the meaning of production and definition of production, and the next topic is production function. A production function expresses a relationship between input and output under condition of given technology. So what we have learned in production? Production is the process of transforming inputs into outputs. And what is production function? Production function states a relationship between input and output. So basically, output is depending upon quantity and quality of input. જેવા આપણે ક્વોન્ટિટી અને ક્વોલિટી ઓફ ઇનપુટ યુઝ કરીએ એવું આપણને આઉટપુટ મળે. So it is the relationship between input and output. Thus, given the technical condition of production, the output of particular commodity depends on quantity of inputs. The output of a particular commodity that depends on quantity of inputs. So output depends on inputs. Then a production function can be expressed in functional form, that is Q is equal to function of A, B, C and D. So what is the meaning of Q here? So Q is output quantity, and A, B, C, D are all the inputs such as land, labor, capital, raw material, etc. are used to produce given level of output Q. So here Q is quantity of output, and these all are the various inputs needs to produce a quantity of output. So here production is represented as a function that to produce a given level of output we have to use a certain level of inputs. Thus, the quantity of output depends upon number of inputs. Yes, for example, if we are making ice cream, we are using milk, cream, sugar and some flavor. If we create changes in flavor, so ultimately output changes. So output is depend upon how many inputs we are using. If the factors of production, that is land, labor, capital, that is input, increased in a given proportion, output also increase in the same proportion. For example, if we are increasing the raw material using for the production, if we are increasing the machinery that are used in production, so ultimately output also increases. Next, so let us understand with the example. We are having an ice cream manufacturing plant. We have 150 workers, that is our labor used as input. Then we have 5 machines, that is capital, we have input. We are using 1000 kgs of raw materials to produce ice cream, that is raw material of as input. And from above inputs we are producing 10,000 packages of ice cream per day, 100-gram package each. So it is known as output. So a production function is Q, that is 10,000 packages, that is quantity of output, and the function of labor, capital and raw material. So our 10,000 packages is depend upon our all the inputs that are used in ice cream manufacturing. Next is production function. So here the production function is expressed in the different way. It is expressed in linear homogeneous production function. So what is linear homogeneous production function? Here here are the function expressed in the equation form. So what is this function? Where we have understand that Q is quantity of output earlier and X and Y are the inputs, where M is any real number. So Q is basically the quantity of output and X and Y are the inputs that are factors of production. The above function means that if factors, that is X and Y, are increased by M times, the output Q also increases by M times. How? Because output is depending upon inputs. So inputs આપણે જો ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ આપણે 1 times વાપરતા અને બદલે આપણે ઇન્ક્રીઝ કરીને 2 times કરી નાખીએ તો ઓબ્વિયસ છે કે આપણું આઉટપુટ ઇન્ક્રીઝ થવાનું છે 2 times. Let us understand with an example. So example number 3. If all inputs increases by 2 times, output also increases by 2 times. How? For example, we are having an ice cream manufacturing plant. We have 150 workers. Now we are increasing by it 2 times. That is 300 workers. And we have 5 machines. We are increasing machines by 2 times. We use 10 machines instead of 5. We are using 1000 kgs of raw material earlier and now we are using 2000 kgs of raw material. We are increases by 2 times. So raw materials increases with 2 times, then machines are increases with 2 times, then workers are increases by 2 times. So ultimately output also increases by 2 times. So here the production function is MQ is equal to function of MX and MY. So here we are using earlier 150 labors, then 5 machines, then 1000 kgs of raw material, and we are increasing all the inputs by 2 times. So ultimately we get 2 times of output, that is 20,000 quantity. Okay, so to get 20,000 quantity we have to increase all the inputs by 2 times. So it is obvious from our example, it is obvious that if we increases labors by 2 times, if we increases machines by 2 times, we increases the all raw materials by 2 times, our output is also increases by 2 times. Let us understand characteristics of production function. First is production function is technical relationship between physical input and physical output. Whatever inputs you are using, it ultimately creates impact on physical output. If you are using less input, you will get a less output. If you are using more quantity and heavy quality of input, you ultimately get a very good and qualitative output. Second is it does not take consideration of cost of input and price of output. So here we assume that we are not taking the cost of input, like we are paying wages to the labor, or we are having the cost of raw materials. We are not considering in the production to understand the concept of production function, and also we are not considering the price of output. For example, in this example we have not considered the cost of raw materials and price of our output of ice cream. We have just understand how it how the concept works on the relationship between input and output. Third one is, this concept assume that technology is constant. Here we assume that our technology is constant. In real life, it may be that technology is more advanced, so we requires labors and less machines to produce 10,000 unit of packages. It may happen, right? So to understand the relationship between inputs and outputs, we have assumed that our technology is constant here. Then maximum output at given input and minimum output for a given input. Okay, so to get maximum output at given input, we are uh, we are trying to get, so here in this concept we have to assume that we are getting maximum output to a given input, or we have to use minimum input to get a given output. Then a production function expresses time period. Of course, production is an activity. It takes time to convert input into output. For example, car manufacturing. So, how many? Uh, so how much time will be taken by a finished car? Like how much time taken by a car manufacturer to produce one car? So production function expresses a time period of production activity. Then production function it is expressed in various forms like equations, tables, total, average and marginal utility. In this example, in this all example, we have expressed production in equation form. We can also express it expressed in total form like 10,000 packages per day. It is in total form of production. Then we can express in average like we are producing average of average production of the month, and marginal utility. Then what are the types of production function? There are two types of production function, that is short term production function and long term production function. First of all, short term production function. So what is short run production function? Short run production function wherein quantity of only one input is variable. It is known as variable proportion production function also because when the quantity of only one input is changed and keeping all other inputs constant. What happens if we alters a quantity of input? So what happens with output? Let us understand with example. Let us continue our ice cream manufacturing example, that in summer season ice cream demand rises, so we have to put more raw material to produce more ice cream. For example, uh, we have assumed that 150 workers are working in our plant, then we have 5 machines in the plant. We are using now 1200 kilograms of raw materials to produce ice creams, because in summer season our ice cream demand rises for a short period of time. So we have changed the one input, we have changed here input. Instead of 1000 kgs, we have used 1200 kgs of raw material to produce ice cream. And from above inputs, we are producing 12,000 packages of ice cream per day. Here, the workers and machines keep constant. Because of the short term need, we are increasing our inputs, that is raw material, to produce more packages of output. So for the summer season only, we are using more raw materials to produce more output. Then long run production function. So in long run production function, wherein quantities of all inputs are changed at the same time. So what is the difference between short run production function and long term is, in short run, for a shorter period of time, we are altering only one input, keeping all other inputs constant. But in long run production function, we are altering or we are changing the quantities of all inputs. Let us understand with an example. In long run, say after 1 year, our ice cream brand becomes more popular and people demanding more ice creams. So अभी हमारी ब्रांड बिकम पॉपुलर हो गई है और हमारी डिमांड आइसक्रीम्स की डे बाय डे इंक्रीज हो रही है. सो वी हैव टू चेंज इन all the inputs. Now we have 200 workers instead of 150 workers. Now we have 7 machines instead of 5 machines to produce more output. And then we are using 1500 kilograms of raw materials instead of 1000 kgs of raw materials to produce more ice cream. So ultimately we are changing all the inputs to catch the demand for 15,000 packages. So अभी डिमांड बढ़ गई है. पहले हमारी डिमांड 10,000 ही थी. सो हम प्रोड्यूस 10,000 के हिसाब से कर रहे थे. सो अभी डिमांड 10,000 से 15,000 हो गई है. सो वी हैव टू चेंज इन all the inputs. So in long run, we are changing all the inputs used to produce output. But in short run, we are making just changes in one input only, because for demand increases but for a short term period. Like in summer season, after summer season demand will be 10,000 or it will be less than 12,000. So from above inputs we are producing 12,000 only, because we are altering only raw material part. But for in long run, अभी हमारी आइसक्रीम की ब्रांड बहुत पॉपुलर हो गई है और वी आर in need of more inputs. So we are changing all the inputs and get 15,000 packages. In next part of unit 2, we will be studying the law of returns to scale. That is this part that is related to long run production function, and we will be study the law of variable proportion, that is depend upon short term production function. So what you have to do is you have to read it from your textbook and just understand what topic says. Okay, thank you so much students. Do well and prepare well.